We've had some specific roles for our guys to be able to lock down on them, and so far so good.
Yeah, they've been doing an excellent job. And your back line have just been holding super strong all day.
Yeah, well, they're very talented. Goebbels, Hughes and Gordon, of course, are just terrific players, and our boys have been fantastic on their defending them, so yeah.
Thanks for your time. Best of luck.
30 minutes left of this one. Thanks very much from Mick Fogarty for giving up his time. His side lead by 3 goals, and they go inside forward 50 for the first time in this final term. Looking for Allen. He couldn't take the mark, and right spills out the handball. It goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Boundary.
So we'll cross boundary side. We'll find out what Dan and Artie said, although we probably could have heard it up here from the balcony. It was fairly loud.
It's all in the effects.
Esmond Aponzo.
It was very loud, yes. But look, the key messages are just to lower their eyes, man up, hold your structures at ball ups, and just trust that the other guy, your mate, will get the ball out to you and run hard.
The Bulls, thanks for that, Esmond. You certainly went down there for a wander at 3/4 time and didn't really need to get very close, because you could hear Dan. He spoke about work rate and things like that, and getting boys front and centre and just making sure that the support was there. Rather than 4 or 5 blokes that he did single out as playing good games of footy and hard-working games of footy, and he just expects a team effort. Tregear, who has just been sensational for the Tigers this afternoon, really came to the fore in that second term and has been one of the better players on the ground ever since. Here he is at full back. Left foot kick out to the flank, looking for Meeson. Fake cuts across and gets first hands on the ball, but big bad Johnny Meeson is good enough to bring the ball down. Morrison couldn't take the mark. Weatherall gets a high tackle from Dorr. Good low centre of gravity there from Jacko Weatherall. His foot skills are exquisite. Gordon leads up onto the flank. He's got Corrigan hot on his hammer. He's been good enough to beat Corrigan in a one-on-one, you'd think. So the instruction from Donati at 3/4 time was not to bomb the ball in, and that's not what they're going to do. Kennedy goes to that one-on-one.
Good mark by
Great
Kelly.
work by Kelly, who cuts across and
he's had a great game.
as the third man up to come and lend some support, and the kick after that good mark left a lot to be desired. Morrison, sit underneath that one, son, and he does. And he doesn't have a choice. Kick to Harper, so no nicknames here. Here's Harper at half back.
You on a nickname basis with Tim Harper?
I have been, ever since I saw him play a good game of footy out at Vermont one day. I just felt very close to him. Goes short to Kyle Martin. He's a bit sore.
Ginger as he
landed there. He's had a big game. We'll get his numbers from Soupy very shortly. Soupy? Number 33, yeah. Thank you.
Ooh.
His 33rd disposal was fantastic. Robertson takes the mark, releases Anderson, who gets around one. Handball's back to Harper, who started all of this. Can he finish it? He can, but with an out on the full. No good from Harper.
Boundary.
And again, Swim Mart on Cotton Road gets a free plug.
Feel free to promote the 7 signs that are before it on that side of the ground,
It's crossed down boundary side very quickly, thanks to chiropractic betting, Alana Coleman.
Yeah, Mick was really, really positive at that 3/4 time huddle, as you can imagine. And he was talking about pushing the Balwyn players wide. So obviously that's why they were pushed so wide in that third quarter, because that's the way Noble Park were making them play.
Certainly was. Good fly there from Gordon. Took the mark. Kennedy was under a lot more pressure than he thought he was. Goebbels gave his handball away back to Kennedy. Now finds a bit of space. Milhoisen from 50. Top of the goal square. Gordon in a one-on-one. Out-muscled his opponent beautifully and takes the mark 15 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Doesn't matter what sort of defender you are, you're always going to, and who the forward is, the ball coming in that quick and you're in a one-on-one in that position, it's always going to be tough to defend. And Corrigan just got lost, and Gordon was in the box seat and smart enough to take the mark. He's already kicked a couple today. And this is for number 3, and you think you wouldn't have too much trouble from this position.
I reckon Kyle Martin's groin's a little bit dicky here.
I'll leave it at that. This to bring the margin back to 2 goals, and he does so. Nathan Gordon kicks the goal. The 9th on the board for the Balwyn Football Club. They move on to 9-10-64. Noble Park 11-10-76.
It didn't mean to come out that way.
Do you want to rephrase it?
Yeah, I did. Look, I think his groin's a little bit suspect, the way he's moving on the ground.
Between that and Peter North, we should probably move to a midnight time slot.
We knew exactly what you wanted to say, Brash.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, back to the footy.
Even 12-point margin, so 2 goals. And the Tigers, they get the ever-important first goal of this last term to give them a little bit of belief and keep them within breathing space. He got the Bulls inside 50. Right, another one of those almost marks. On the deck now, Milhausen back to Gottliebsen, who was super in that third term. Over to Cross, who's been brilliant all day for the Balwyn Footy Club. He's got Weatherald over the back, releases him into some space. He goes backwards to go forwards. In a one-on-one is Hughes with Robertson. Hughes gets the tap across. Weatherald sells a bit of candy. Goes to Gilchrist by hand in the middle of the ground.
Holding.
It's going to be a free kick the way of the Bulls. They'll take the advantage. Advantage is a rule all of a sudden. There's Mitch Kent at the centre half forward. Brett Dorr on the mark. Turns around on the left boot. He's got Tim Harper all by himself. And Harps is going to go back from 40 metres out on a 40-degree angle and try and put this one through and get the almost instant reply and put the margin back to 18 points.
That was a crucial turnover there on the wing.
It certainly was. They just tried to do a little bit too much by hand. And Harper, who's been excellent already in the first 5 minutes of this last quarter, can make them pay. The kick is excellent. It's never in doubt off the boot. And they get that one back. So they're not going to roll over either Bulls. They've got the lead and they're not going to give it up. It's going to be a real hard-fought contest, this one. We've gone 5 minutes in the last quarter. 12-10-82, the Bulls. 9-10-64, the Balwyn Tigers. Queen's birthday footy at its finest.
Liam Fraser just warming up and getting ready to come back on the ground in a couple of minutes' time.
Still got 5 odd minutes to go.
Just trying to stay fresh. So, when you think they're within striking distance for Noble Park doing enough. Anderson gives away to Martin. How many times have we heard that over the course of the years? Great work there from Meeson. Intercepts and gets it away to Weatherald. Sampone came off his boot. Running through. Great work there from Kennedy. Bain got it over the back. Now Robinson, the 200 gamer, just bustles through Kemperman. Back to Kemperman, got it off Mitchum. Now towards half forward. Bouncing ball wasn't all that flash. Gilchrist, Keane cut it off, and now a chance to go forward through Dorr. Inside forward 50, bouncing ball. Pendlebury was in the front position, but Peever Wright put on a lot of pressure. Great work there, and not rewarded. Umpire said he took him too high or held on too long. And he's given away the free kick. Bulldogs have got it by 3 points over at the Adelaide Oval. Kick from Pendlebury, not all that flash, and he's turned it over with a free kick. It'll be Sam Monaghan, who kicked a stellar goal in the third term. Take the free kick, deep in the pocket. Man on the mark at 45. Looks like he's going to back himself, and this may just put the result beyond doubt early in this final term. To make it 4 straight goals. Top of the goal square, not going to make the distance. Great punch there from Pendlebury. And it eventually goes over the boundary line with Taylor Gilchrist. So 6.5 minutes gone, final term here on AFL Game Day, of course, all thanks to the Pancake Parlour. And it's Noble Park, 12-10-82, Balwyn 9-10-64.
One of those games where the three-goal lead just seems like a 4 or 5 goal lead. There's a little bit more weight behind an 18-point margin on a day like this. Cross, back to Roach, who had the first option and then the second option, didn't take either of those. And usually the third option is a shocker, but this one is fantastic. Millhausen, who takes the ball and then plays on, kicks it straight into the man on the mark. It's going to work out for the Tigers, though. Roach, they're using the ball well by hand. Great courage going back with the flight of the ball, but no mark taken. Here's Goebbels, tries to get away from Bull. Bulls his way through. Tempone, out to O'Regan on the right boot. Kicks into the space for Gordon to lead onto. Good footy, good mark by Gordon. Instead of going back and having the shot, he centres the ball.
Oh, how does that happen?
That's too easy.
Jeff Goebbels has already kicked 3. He's like this end in the ground this afternoon. He's going to go back for number 4 and to cut the margin back to 12 points on a grandstand day of the Queen's birthday footy. And saw Boom Collingwood recruit Adam Treloar over at the Noble Park Huddle at 3/4 time. So plenty of interest in this game.
Former Noble Park Bull, of course.
For sure.
Of course, we've seen Aaron Kirkby-Roddy hanging around as well.
Yeah, I meant people that actually...
No genuine superstar.
People who aren't nobodies, so Aaron probably doesn't rate a mention in that conversation. Here's Jeffy Goebbels for number 4, the stand-in skipper. Always to the left. Disappointing, but could be a handy point. Could come back and prove vital later on. 17 points now, 9-11-65. Noble Park 12-10-82, 8.5 minutes gone.
Fraser back on the ground.
On the Wayne Brasher scoreboard.
Kick from Morrison. That's gone all of 75 metres right to the centre of the ground. Keane evaded the contact that never actually came in the end. Great work at the back of the pack to clean up here. McDonald gives his handball away over the top to right for Balwyn. Hard up against the boundary line. Pendlebury when he marks. Right in front of the cricket nets on the outer side. Short chip kick was dangerous, but it'll find its target in North. Handball over the top. Weatherald in a bit of space. Centre wing out of side. Chip kick over the top. Tregear, and a great punch from the back came from Kelly.
Really good discipline played by Noble Park right throughout this game this afternoon. They've worked themselves back into form very nicely.
Pressing all day, the Bulls.
They've taken advantage of a few Balwyn injuries and things of that nature to put themselves in a fantastic position to get themselves to 5-4 in season 2016. A vital 4 points is what you're fighting for every Saturday afternoon in Division 1 of the Eastern Football League. There's Beach.
Too high.
He's going to get a free kick for too high. You're allowed to bend down and pick the footy up, so no worries there. We'll take his free kick at half back. We'll go down the line. It's a good kick and good work by Gent to get himself into a bit of space. In that dead pocket, though, we haven't seen too many scores come from there. It was Beach himself who kicked the goal right before half-time.
Speak of the devil.
And here he is again. He gets the square-up ball from Gent. Here's Beach. Drives it long. Just a real percentages-style kick inside the forward 50. Verkham fakes in the middle of that pack. It was always going to be tough to mark, so it comes down to ground level. Dawes in there. Ball slapped on. Ball in the arms of the Tigers now. Kennedy sweeps one over the top to Hughes. Comes in the middle of the ground. They've moved this one well. O'Regan takes a strong grab. It goes out wide. Plenty of runners here, the Tigers. Bain to Goebbels at half forward. He'll move on to the next contest, Bain. He's got a man over the back into some space. It's Gilchrist is leading well. Weatherall's all by himself over the back. Ooh, great grab there by North.
Kick the goal, Northie!
Almost a reflex action.
Kick the goal, Northie!
So Matty North on senior debut this afternoon.
Yeah, I think he's got to back himself, the young man.
And he's played most of the day on Brett Dorr. He's played most of the game at half back. He's got a left foot kick. This will suit his left foot kick. What a time to kick your first goal in senior footy. And North squirts that one away to the right-hand side.
Noble Park faithful letting him know.
Out of bounds on the foot.
So Joby to take the free kick on full-back. Literally the last line. Kicks out wide, fake the target, he'll fly, but it's set over the back. Godleibson's been paid the mark. Just sort of stuck in his hands in the end. Short chip kick over the top was dangerous. Fraser got caught in back position, but held up his opponent enough. Good work there from Roach.
That was a throw too.
Sling.
He get a free kick because he was dealt with after he got rid of the ball. I think he's been a bit of a waste today, Tommy Roach. He has not got himself into dangerous positions. Right now, in it's close games in the balance, just put him at full forward.
And kick wasn't all that flash. Anderson managed to sweep up. Kick came long. Penderbury will be the first to meet it inside forward 50 here for Noble Park. Bouncing ball just sits up nicely for him. Gives his handball wide, finds McDonald. Short chip kick over the top. Got Leibson, gives to O'Regan. And now they can run. Plenty of space out the outer side. Wright gives back.
They don't have much up ahead.
Putting themselves under a lot of pressure. This press from Noble Park has been fantastic. And it's caused the upset once again. Giobi marks about 70 from home.
Giobi, who spent some time off the ground due to being the recipient of a yellow card, is looking for Dorr. The kick had too much on it, and Dorr gets hands on it and helps it out of bounds in front of the nets.
12.5 minutes gone.
And it's the ball back into play. O'Regan, handball muffed, fake, who's been good in those situations. Gets some close handball away to Mitchum, who was awesome in the first quarter and a bit, and has got out of the game since, and that kick goes out of bounds on the full.
Uncontested possessions this quarter, 38-18 in favour of Balwyn, yet just wasted too many of them and keep going wide.
Well, the writing was on the wall when they were 2 goals 8 or something early on in the first term. They just have not been able to make the most of the limited opportunities that Noble Park have afforded them today. Got Leibson. Just a long kick down the line to a big pack of players. We haven't seen too many big, strong pack marks today, if any, so we're not going to see any there. It's a handball over the top for a boundary throw-in in front of the tennis courts now. So we've got 13 minutes in this final term, and Noble Park 12-10-82 lead Balwyn 9-11-65 by 17 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard after going into half-time with a 13-point lead. So it's been a bit of a holding pattern here in the second half. They've had the most of the run of the play, and they've just been able to kick that important goal at that important time. Balwyn have been able to get the margin back to a point and 8 points, and a couple of times they've been able to draw somewhat close, but It's been pretty standard stuff on the scoreboard since half-time. That ball punching towards the ball and forward line is going to come straight back. We'll see a free kick.
Chop of the arms. Free kick the
I
ball.
don't really think it could be a chop of the arms if it was not in a marking contest. So I'm surprised if
That
that's
was the... Oh, we'll just say two.
It's a free kick nonetheless. It's a free kick nonetheless. Why is it a free? It's a free kick. Doesn't really matter. Milhausen. Oi. Bit acrobatics from Gerald Wright. It gets the one mid up. It sticks. Is it half back? Bit of panic footy being played by the Tigers now. No real method to this. Just going forward and as long as strong as they possibly can. Meeson. He does well. Gets it to Roach. Handballs across to Hughes. Out wide to Weatherwood, I think it was. His kick inside forward 50 is a scrubber. Come out demanding that is Monaghan. His kick up to half forward off the instep only goes as far as Taylor Gilchrist, who goes short to Goebbels, who's kicked 3 goals already.
It's twice. Twice he's marked within 35 in a heavily congested area.
Yep.
How does it's best full forward in the competition? How does that
all
happen?
by himself, and there was Noble Park. There's probably 4 of them around him. And he's going to go back from 40 out and kick this ball from about a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, Jeff Goebbels is that sort of football that can redefine the word claustrophobia, I'll tell you.
He'll kick for goal number 4 to cut the margin back to 13 points. He's kicked there, he's missed to the right-hand side. So he's got the goal surrounded at this end in the last term. He seems to find that happy medium. And the scoreboard moves on to 9-12-66, plays 12-10-82.
As good as he was in the first half, hasn't been able to fire a shot in this last term when his side has needed him. Kemperman, long kick out of the fence, looking for fake. He's been good this afternoon. Probably almost won the battle there with Meeson as Keane gets his kick forward. Pendlebury leads in the race, gives his handball away, manages to find Brown. Centre wing, and Harper takes the mark, gives his handball away quickly to Martin. Martin inside forward 50, it's an empty goal square, and it screws across to the right-hand side, through for one behind.
Well, there's one more seal it for Noble Park. Brash, I know there's plenty of time left, but
look,
they just haven't been able to score.
Balwyn are not playing well enough to kick 4 quick goals, Paul.
Noble Park 12-11-83, Balwyn 9-12-66. 16 minutes gone here in the final term on AFL Game Day.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, of course brought to you by Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours Doncaster and Malvern East. Doesn't get much better than the midnight pancake, especially after a win on a Saturday afternoon in the Eastern Football League. And that's what Noble Park are staring down the barrel of right now. Danny Hughes and Shane Tregear and Jacko Weatherwood want to have something to say about all that, though. They have used the football well to get it up to Meeson at half forward, who's running back with the flight of the ball but couldn't take the mark. Plenty of Bulls defenders just coming in and doing the right job at the right time. Here's Keane, takes a mark at half back and plays on straight away. Handball to Mitchum, who in a phone booth just has to kick the ball up and under to Harper in a one-on-one. Brings the ball to deck in front of him. He's the first one to meet it, and then the boundary line beats him, and he'll take it out of bounds for a throw-in.
He's an underrated footballer, Jackson Keane, but he's almost been their best on ground this afternoon.
Kevin
Keane, sorry.
Yeah, he's played extremely well.
I don't know where I got Jackson from.
Me either. He has played some good footy, Kevin Keane. And they've had some very good players in the guts in that engine room. And there's one of them, Craig Anderson, the skipper, who tries to shrug the tackle of Meeson, but it's not going to happen. And the umpire says, I'll save you from that, Ando.
Giving away a few feet there.
Absolutely. So Fake and Meeson, that's been a fascinating ruck duel all day. And there's Fake out of the ruck again. He's already kicked a goal in similar fashion, just didn't have the legs on it that time. And Pendlebury helps it over the line for a rush behind. And we're back to an even 3-goal margin.
Pendlebury to do the kick-in duties. Decides to go long to the outer side. Milhoy's in the target, running back with a flight of the ball. Couldn't take the mark, but the cavalry arrives in the form of Shane Tregear. Gets it away, and eventually they get the kick forward. Finds Taylor Gilchrist on centre wing. Further afield, Weatherald runs past and eventually gets the handball. Just a bit of wasted space here as they've managed to work it to half forward. Roach inside forward 54 on 2. The 2 fly. Great work from Gordon. Couldn't take the mark though. And Noble Park clear out the commentary side wing. Bouncing ball. Again, numbers with Noble Park here. They can raffle it in the end. Cody to Keane. Now away to Bull, who gives back to Giobi, whose handball wasn't all that flashed. It goes over the boundary line and out of bounds through centre ring, right in front of our chiropractic betting boundary riders.
They've got their measure. The Bulls, the way the Tigers are going inside 50, Brash just reeks of a side that's a bit defeated and a bit lacklustre.
Yeah, they just can't. They've been beaten well and truly at centre half forward today.
Big mountain to climb now as Jackson Weatherald gets it out Sells a bit of candy and then eventually gets his kick away. Roach hard up against the boundary line, gives his handball away. Too hot for Weatherald. Now Martin a chance to clear out for Noble Park. Numbers around here favour the Bulls. Good work from Tobin. Gives it away to Fake. They turn it over again though. Right a chance as they go back towards the forward 50.
And Noble Park numbers everywhere. Bull, Giobi, shrugs the tackle of Bain, and left foot kick up towards where the benches are. Looked like it was going to go out on the full at one stage, but halfway just comes across, Allen it was rather, and just muscles that ball out of bounds for another boundary throw-in.
Wouldn't say that was the greatest advertisement of quality football there, that last 30 seconds.
No, and this game hasn't been, Brosh. It's been one of those games that if it was your first game of Division 1 EFL footy, you'd be wondering what all the fuss was about, because we haven't seen the greatest skill level of all time. We've seen what we've seen is some hard contested footy, and two sides of we've seen game plans. We've seen the battle of the coaches today, and you know, the players are definitely more so like chess pieces than on any other day, where they're just doing their job and being sent into battles and being told what to do. Here's Weatherald, his left foot kicking today has been exceptional, and that one to the advantage of Goebbels, who always had the sit on Robertson. So he gets the hands up and takes the mark. It's his third set shot of the quarter. He missed to the left and then he missed to the right. Let's see if he can get a bang in the middle.
Sam Monahan's absolutely spewing because he was running back to cover that space in front of Goebbels and he backed straight into the umpire.
So here he comes, Jeffy Goebbels, the stand-in skipper today. He's kicked 3 goals, 2 for the afternoon. It's for number 4 to cut the margin back to an even 2 goals and to give the Tigers some life. He's got it, he's snuck it in. He turns around and salutes. The crowd are getting involved here now. 20 minutes gone, just ticking the time on. 10-12 plays 12-12. We're set for a cracking finish here at SEN Park.
They're a vocal audience in Noble Park, faithful, aren't they?
Yeah, they don't leave
other things.
They don't leave anything in the tank, the Noble Park supporters.
Clearances this quarter, 7-4 in favour of Noble Park. Inside 50 count their weight, 13-9.
Equal leading goal kicker on the ground, Jeff Goebbels now with Carl Martin. 1 in the first, 2 in the second when Balwyn looked hot. And then 1 in this final term just to steady the ship, bring it back to a 12-point margin. They seem a lot more out of it than 2 goals, don't they?
Yeah, they do. In the general condition of play, yes.
As we tick 21 minutes, Cross eventually got his kick away. Trickier will pick up on centre wing. Pressure will come. It's just got to be clean with disposal. Can raffle it off here, the Balwyn plays. In the end, Kennedy marks. Handball's further afield. Roach under a bit of pressure. Eventually gets it across to Weatherald, 50 from home. Weatherald loads up all by himself, Liam Fraser. And at the 22-minute mark of the final term, when you're 12 points up, you can't give Liam Fraser that much space.
No.
Stewie Kemperman got drawn to the contest on that occasion.
Yeah, he was caught in 2 minds, Kemperman, and took the wrong option. But you know,
Foot skills of Weatherald are exceptional.
So Liam Fraser to cut it back to a goal just when the Tigers were dead and buried. And that kick doesn't help. He's missed it all. Still a 12-point margin. Noble Park 12-12, 84. Balwyn 10-12, 72. 21, almost 22 minutes gone final term.
Just got the makings of a game where they're just going to fall short. They're going to have an interesting side in on paper. Some players we're not used to seeing. They've been outplayed all day by a Noble Park side. And to be frank, they don't really deserve to win from here at the Balwyn Footy Club. So the Bulls certainly still have their work cut out for them. Keane, who's played on at every opportunity, even when he hasn't needed to. Today, that was certainly one of those times. There's Joby up towards half forward, Wright and Pendlebury. Pendlebury had the front spot but couldn't bring the mark to ground. Got Leapson on hands and knees. Allen and Harper are in there laying tackles. And Geordie Buckingham's in there saying, I'll have the Sharon and I'll ball it up.
They're just not the same side that we're used to seeing Balwyn at the moment.
No, Fake gets it down to Wright, whose handball goes straight to Weatherald. He kicks across goal to Tregear. He's got Roach running past. He tries to get away from Allen, has to use the handball instead. Goes to Cross, who goes back to Weatherald. They're overusing the footy here a little bit. Good tackle there by Kemperman. And we'll have a ball up at centre half forward.
I think you're right, Paul. I don't reckon they've utilised Tommy Roach to the best of his capabilities today.
Right, Private Wright, his first game for the season, cramping up at half forward. You just see his calf muscle just really constricting.
Yeah.
There's Weatherald, whose use of the footy there is exactly what we expect. Goes to Hughes, whose handball inboard. It's not the greatest option because it sets up his team into some trouble. There's Kennedy, who has to go wider again. Gilchrist, Gordon on the lead, it kicks a cracker.
Oh, that's a good passage of play.
Absolutely it is.
Yep.
Plenty of space for Gordon to work into. And he leads to the right spot. The kick's perfect, the mark's even better. And then we'll see how Gordon can stand up in the face of pressure. He's already kicked 3. This will be for number 4. This will be to cut the margin back to 1 straight kick in the 24th minute of the mark of the last quarter. You can see the angle there. It's a 45-degree job. He's not that far out. Bread and butter for very good forwards, and that's exactly what Nathan Gordon is. He's a very good forward. He's got 4 in this Queen's Birthday Clash this afternoon. The margin all of a sudden back to 1 straight kick. And the Bulls, who are looking quite comfortable with a 19-point margin at the start of this last term, all of a sudden have their work cut out for them. They're going to need to kick a couple of goals, Brash, now.
They are, and, you know, look, it's a shame here for Noble Park because they've been by far the better side for most of the game. If Balwyn get up here, it'd be sort of like grand larceny, really.
120 seconds left in this game.
Gee, that's precise.
Or 2 minutes for those of you playing at home. So time ticks down. It'll be a short quarter. Probably go to about 26 minutes. Ball thrown up in the middle once again. Martin gets the kick away going forward. They just need something now just to steady the ship. Any score will do to make it interesting. Keane, he was tackled as he tried to get rid of it. Now they've got a chance here. Balwyn right. Gets the kick up towards centre wing. Tregear punched away. Meeson couldn't get his handball away. In and under, good work there from Mitchum.
We've already called it Balwyn draw on EFL Game Day in season 2016.
Do we dare mention it again?
It looks a real possibility.
That's certainly going to help. Martin tries to clear it away. Dora has been sensational all day. Gets his handball away. Keane over the top. Allen got his handball away. Martin under a lot of pressure. Godleibson's been fantastic this afternoon. Keane gives it away to Martin. This should finish it. Cole Martin, 5 for the afternoon. And side seal delivered. Noble Park will get the points this afternoon. 13-12-90 the Bulls. Balwyn 11-12-78. 25 and a half minutes gone. Final term on EFL Game Day.
Well, what a performance it's been. I mean, you start to think about best on grounds. I was thinking Anderson up until that moment, despite Martin's 4 goals. But now he's kicked a handful and he's been sore. He's got that dicky groin you mentioned, Brash, and he's limping off the ground now. He's kicked
done his job, though.
A handful of goals and a stack of footy. What a super performance from him. What a great performance from the Bulls to, you know, they got to within a kick there, Balwyn, and to be able to pull away and then still be good enough to kick another one.
Spare man back for the Bulls.
Absolutely, certainly start thinking about that now. We've got 26 minutes in the final term.
Be no more than 30 seconds left.
Can't be much long left. Meeson gets his own clearance out of the middle of the ground. Bouncing ball. Kelly, who's been a pillar of strength back there at half back for the Bulls. Handballs up to Bull, who's high kick to the wing. Finds Cody. He's had a quiet afternoon, but takes an important mark there, and he's going to take some valuable seconds off the clock. Not going to try anything too silly, just goes long down the line. Any score, any mark will do here for the Bulls. It's punched to the boundary line and seen over by Haynes. There's a medical centre, and it's getting a good piece of airtime there. And Stowe Storage Systems and William Hill. And
you can mention them once they give us some cash.
It's all happening here. How do you know I'm not getting anything?
There we go.
How do you know I'm not getting anything under the table? Swim Mart paid me very handsomely for today's work.
They would want to. You mentioned them about 7 times.
Here's the ball at half back. Millhausen, just loses a handle on the footy. They've got to get something going here, you feel. There's Robertson, who drags that ball back in, then gets it out, then drags it back in, and then tackled, I think, by Hughes in there. Geordie bucking him.
He's given it too high for it.
It's going to go the way of the Bulls. So Robertson, for all the hard work that he did, will come up with something.
And as an experienced player would do, he's just taking his time getting up.
I think more importantly for Robertson, he's going to come away with 4 points. That's what's going to please him and his teammates the most. Goes back to Monaghan. And there it is. There's a siren. And the Noble Park faithful, they get up, they're excited. They come into SEN Park with a record of 4-4. 6th on the ladder, losing touch with the finals against a Balwyn side that's lost a game by a point and had another draw in season 2016. And guess what? They're going home with a win. What a great performance.
It continues the trend. 6 times on Queen's birthday, these two sides have met. And 3-3 all away wins on Queen's birthday. Noble Park have come here the last 3 times and managed to win. Balwyn have done exactly the same thing when they head to Pat Wright Senior Oval, and it makes for an intriguing season. We thought it was last chance saloon coming into this game for the Bulls, and they've certainly done all they could. And on that performance, they are certainly still a contender in season 2016.
Well, that sets up an absolute mouth-watering clash down the Bull Ring next Saturday afternoon with Vermont travelling down there, and Vermont coming off a big victory this afternoon, Dyson.
Yeah, they flexed their muscles. We've got a big post-match show coming up, Dyson. You could better get back to the studio, so we'll be here till about 7:30.
Kyle Martin's stats for the day: a 31 kicks.
Safe trip to the studio too, Dice.
31 kicks, 8 handballs, 6 marks and 5 goals. Pretty good afternoon.
39 touches on 5 goals. It's not a bad day at the office from the former Collingwood player who's had a fantastic impact since coming back to play footy at the Noble Park Footy Club. What were the other stats that mattered there, Soupy, thanks to Tuesday?
Well, taking a look at the last quarter, Balwyn did well in the contested ball, which was what they lacked in the first 3 quarters. They won that 42-30. They absolutely dominate. We'll head boundary slide down.
Yeah,
to
absolutely. It looks like Esmond has got Tim Kelly.
Tim, fantastic win this afternoon. You started off with 4 wins and 4 losses at this stage, and against Balwyn a couple of years ago, I think you won this game. And look, it's a terrific effort today, and congratulations.
Pretty shaky start to the year, up and down. Some tight games, and we haven't really hit our straps yet. We've got a lot of new blokes, and hopefully this game can set us on our way and gel a bit better and move forward from here.
Thanks. Look, your defense was fantastic today. Look, you got the numbers in, your structures was good, your disciplines are good, and I'm sure that Mick Fogarty will be very happy with that outcome this afternoon.
Yeah, he might be finally happy with us for once, so it's good to get a win on the board. But yeah, we settled pretty well today. We had a lot of experienced guys in. We've had a pretty young team all year, a few injuries, so apart from Ziggy Owen, maybe 1 or 2 others out today, it was a pretty full-strength side. So yeah, just good to finally get a win, and yeah, Balwyn are a quality outfit. We respect them a lot, especially this ground. So.
Jimmy,